Hello everybody, and welcome back to my F1 23 My Team Career Mode Season 4, Round 3, the Australian Grand Prix. First things first, it's time for one-shot quali. If you haven't seen the last race in Saudi, go back and check that one out before you check this one out. Well, Saudi was an unqualified disaster, but I'm hoping to put that right here as we arrive in Melbourne. And so far, we're a little bit deep into one, and that's cost us, but we can make the time up. We have had an upgrade put on the car, so we should be a little bit faster than we were in Saudi for this weekend. And so far, we are looking at a top 5 if we can keep on this on a solid lap, maybe even a top 3. And that would be our strongest qualifying of the year. At the moment, Norris, though, is definitely running away with pole. We're currently sat P5, which wouldn't be too bad, but look at the speed we have on the straight. That really does help us as we now head around to the end of the second sector, up to sector 3 then. Now this part of the circuit is critical. It is absolutely crucial to nail this corner, and we have nailed that nicely. Right, we've got this corner as well. Yep. Now the penultimate corner, the braking zone, is hard to get right, and we haven't exactly got that right. But as we come out of the final bend, it looks like it's going to be a top 5 for us, which is a strong improvement on everywhere we've been so far this season. It is P5, and we are nicely in the top 5 for this Grand Prix. That's exactly where we want to be, mixing it at the front. But who gets pole position? Of course, it's Lando Norris. And Felipe Drugovich helps him lock out the front row. And Verstappen has to settle for third. Then it's Russell in the Alpine, us, then it's Stroll, Sainz, Tsunoda, Piastri and Doohan are your top 10 for the Grand Prix.
It missed a few years off the F1 calendar, and we missed Albert Park. So welcome back, and it's great to be back in Melbourne. Welcome to the Australian Grand Prix. It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Lando Norris will lead us away from pole position, and Felipe Drugovich completes the front row. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Russell, Joker, Stroll, Sainz, Tsunoda, Oscar Piastri, Doohan, Helga, Albon, Teo Pourchaire, Joe, Ocon, Leclerc, Gasly, Ricciardo, Liam Lawson, Magnussen, Sargent, and Frederick Vesti. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
Right then, it is time for the Australian Grand Prix. We're in a good position starting. Let's see if we can keep a strong position moving forward then into this 20-lap race. There are opportunities here. And we are underway, and it is a decent start by us. Norris gets away well. We're down the outside, and we might be able to squeeze a couple of positions here. I'm going, how many positions can I squeeze? We've got past up to third. Drugovich, though, has taken the lead. Collision with Russell. Rubbish, I didn't touch him. Right, up into P3 then. What a start we have made. From P5 up into P3. My eye is hurting. Up into P3 with George Russell right behind us. But it's Drugovich leads. Drugovich leads. Norris second. We are in P3. And we have put ourselves in the pound seat for a podium place. But George Russell is coming at us from behind. And I think the two Williams are going to disappear off into the distance here. But that's fine. I have nothing against that. We are doing our own race for third. And Russell is getting very close here. I fear he may have a look down the inside. But not right here. Not right now. Drugovich leads Norris. Leads us into the end of the first lap. And what a start we have made. And Russell's dropped back a bit there. So Russell not quite with us as we end the lap. End of lap 1. Drugovich, Norris, Waters. And I'm happy to be running in the top 3. And then it's Russell and Verstappen 4th and 5th. and hopefully Russell can keep Max back just a little bit, and we can try and pull out a little bit of a gap on the car behind. But there's a yellow flag just behind us. I don't know what's gone on there. I think that's going to be a car dropping out of the race, but there is a yellow flag. We've lost somebody early on. And Russell, look at that, 1.5 seconds behind us at this stage. So the upgrades that we've whacked onto this car, definitely working for us. I wish I knew what happened at turn 1 though. No indication yet as to what's gone on. And I think Verstappen is going to be passing Russell here. Verstappen is passing Russell, moving up into 3rd place as we now stay within the hunt for the 2 Williams, who I think are about to exchange places. Not just yet, Norris waiting for the DRS. But I tell you what, this lap they're not as fast. We've stayed with them this lap, and that might give them a bit of a headache. These upgrades are working incredibly. They are working exactly as we want them to work. And we're in P3. Verstappen has moved ahead of Russell. And we've got a fastest lap as well. 1:18.1, setting the fastest lap of the race. We are definitely keeping the Williams honest at this stage as we head towards the end of the end of the first sector on lap 3. And we may even be able to give the Williams a headache if they start attacking each other. We might be able to get in amongst it. 0.8 separates us, and there's another couple of seconds to Verstappen. I've gone deep there though. That might put pay to any attacking chances. For now, we do have DRS, but so does Norris, and he is going to have a go at his teammate Felipe Drugovich, but I don't think he's going to get it done quite here. I think he's going to have to wait till we're up this end of the circuit. Here we go. Is Norris having a go? Yes, he is. The 2 Williams, the 2 teammates, go side by side, but Norris having to give way right now because Drugovich holds the position, and Lance Stroll is now ahead of George Russell. So Russell losing places at this stage of the race. I think Russell may have attained damage, but I didn't think we touched him. I didn't feel the touch, so I don't know. But here comes Lando Norris again. He's not letting Drugovich get away with this, and neither are we. We're trying to stay within shooting distance, but I think Norris is going to have another go. Not quite there. And the more these two battle each other, the more that I just about stay with them, but going deep there doesn't help. And I think I am just pushing a little bit too hard. Magnussen is out of the race, so we've lost Kevin Magnussen on lap 4. And we've still got 17 laps to go, 16 including this one. I think Norris has just taken the lead. I can just about see them, and I think Norris has got past his teammate as we get a warning for track limits. That's fine. We don't want to get another one of those. So Lando Norris now takes the lead of the Australian Grand Prix. Drugovich is second, we're third. Verstappen is fourth and closing in on us quite quickly here as we nearly lose it. Coming out of the right-hander. That was a bit of a moment. Verstappen is closing in. And Sainz, I think, has also got past George Russell. So we've got a good little result here. Now, the yellow flag is out. We're going to see Magnussen just pulled over to the right.
Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 5.
But now it's a green flag, and Max Verstappen starting to close in on us. And I think by the time we get to DRS, he might just be within range. It would also help if we stayed on the racing line. But yeah, I think we're starting to lose the best of the tyres here. And that's allowing Verstappen to close in. And it's also allowing the Williams to build a bit of a gap, which is what they want for their race. Holding on to P3 at the moment. It's lap 5 out of 20. And Verstappen is 1.0 seconds behind, so for sure Verstappen will soon have DRS. because he is quicker at this stage. The Mercedes is just naturally quicker, and I'm giving it what I can, but the Mercedes, like I said, is just about quicker than us. And Max Verstappen now is within range to start giving us a bit of a headache. The Williams are now 2.5 seconds up the road, and Verstappen is going to be right with me. Still a very strong start here, and that's exactly what we want. We want a strong start, but now we've got to keep our wits about us because Verstappen is stalking his prey. And this is exactly how Max works. He stalks and then he'll go on the attack. So are we going to have to do a bit of defending here? I think so. Right, let's get on the overtake. Let's use that. Let's drain that off as much as we can. Max isn't quite close enough to do it here. So for now, I think we are safe. It's going to be round here, though, that it'll make the difference. On overtake, just see if we can keep him behind. Max, I don't think close enough to go for it this time. So Max will have to wait it out. And while he's doing that, of course, he's losing time to the Williams in front because they are, in the long run in pace, quicker than us. So Williams are quicker. And this is where Max might have a first go now. He has got to run. He's going to try and go up the inside. I'm covering. But I kind of veered across to the middle of the track just to sort of put him off trying it. But here we go. He's going to have a look for the outside. Surely Max is going for it. He is round the outside. Space is given. But no, nothing in doing there. Max will have to stay back. And I think we are going to pit on the next lap to try and just protect the position, get a bit of an undercut to protect the position, and battle it out later. Verstappen is still there. He is still stalking us like a hunter stalking prey. The Dutch lion is stalking its prey. Its prey is us.
Okay, so the gap to the car ahead, 4.3
I don't
seconds.
care about the car ahead. What I care about is Verstappen attacking from behind. He is going for it. We're going to have to defend the inside. I think Max might just have us here, but we are on the inside. And Max a little bit compromised, but through goes Verstappen. And Verstappen does gain the position. So Max is up to third. A good move by the Mercedes driver. And all the more confirming me pitting over the next lap. Verstappen didn't really have to do too much to get through there. We're going to try and stay within the DRS range of Verstappen. Try and get him back. He seemed a bit wobbly there. And you know what? That might be a way in. That might be a way in. Other than that, we're going to have to wait and try and stay with him. We're not that far behind him. And he looks quite wobbly too. So Verstappen could be vulnerable. I don't think this duel is quite over yet. In fact, we now become the predator, and Verstappen becomes the prey. And here we go, the battle between myself and Verstappen, ready to continue because we have DRS. And I don't think Max is going to be able to do much to stop us as we go round the outside, and we retake the Mercedes for P3. That was impressive. But Verstappen now might come back at us. We have the advantage of DRS here, so we're going to be a bit quicker. Verstappen trying the outside line again. It doesn't happen. Verstappen turns in. There's contact. I don't know what he thought he was achieving with that. Now defending again as Verstappen goes for the outside line. And we're just containing it. And we still hold on to the position. The Mercedes car's getting an almighty headache from the fact that I am just not budging out of the way here. It's lap 9 out of 20, and we are holding on quite nicely to the position. This is the lap to pit for us. And I think Verstappen, is he close enough to come back? Not this time. But I tell you what, the Williams have built up a lovely lead. While we've been battling, the Williams are going to be thanking us with a fruit basket because they've got over 8 seconds. They've got leeway to do whatever they want with their strategy. Meanwhile, I'm going to give Mercedes much needed relief. I'm pitting this time. And does any of the Mercedes follow me in? Yes, Verstappen does. Stroll stays out. So we are now in the pits. This becomes a strategic battle here. And hopefully we have a good pit stop. And that allows us to get out back ahead of the Mercedes.
Okay, mate, that's it. Go, go, go.
And that's exactly what's happened. But Verstappen is a little bit closer. We've got some clear air though, so that's going to help out. I think Max might be in a little bit of trouble here. Oh, tell you what, that was a bit sideways out of the corner. Verstappen is going to try and come back at me, but I'm going to do everything I can to prevent that from happening, and I do. And Verstappen's going to try and up and under me, but no, nothing in doing there. We've got fresh tyres. Let's use that advantage. Let's try and push on. Lawson isn't going to be anything to do with us at this stage, so we move, we carry on pushing, and Verstappen is still behind us, and he's going to be wanting to find a way to get back past through the second half of this race. But right now we are looking very, very good for a podium if we can hold off the charging Mercedes behind us, and our race pace here has looked quite strong. I'm quite happy to see that the upgrades that we've thrown on the car are working exactly as we hoped. Sainz in the pits, so Carlos making his way into the pits, and hopefully he will still be in a strong position himself. Lance Stroll also pits. And it looks like we are going to maintain a top 3 here, so we are looking very good for that podium. Stroll has gone on hards. What is that strategy called? That's not gonna work for him, is it? So Lando Norris was the first of the 2 Williams to pit. Drugovich stays out, and I tell you what, if I push hard enough, maybe I could give Drugovich a bit of a headache. I don't think we'll get past him, but I certainly think we will give him a headache here. This is a very strong showing from us at Melbourne, and I'm very happy that we're having this strong showing. It is needed. After the race we had last time out, it is needed to have a better run in round 3. And it's still a great start to our season if we can get a second podium. It'll be the first time in this career mode that we would have had 2 podiums from the first 3 races. And if anything, at the moment, we're pulling clear of Verstappen. But he might be biding his time. We know what Max is like. He might be biding his time and preparing for an attack a bit later on. But for now, let's use our pace, push on. Norris leads. Drugovich will be coming out the pits anytime soon, which he does, and we don't get a fastest lap of the race. We were just not able to beat our previous fastest lap. Damn, that was a good lap. Stroll is going to drop back now. That's one thing that I can tell you for certain. Lance Stroll is going to drop back. He is not going to have the pace on those tyres to do anything, because, well, they're the hards. Look how much he's dropped back already. 5 seconds behind us. And he was right there with us, if you remember, at one point, just before the pit stops. So, a strategy that's gone wrong for him, but it's looking very, very good for Lando Norris, and it's also looking very, very good for us as we push on ahead of the Mercedes. So the one upgrade we've had has definitely improved things for us. We have got a couple more upgrades pending, so things are definitely going to be looking up in the next few races, and I think with the upgrades we'll get, there'll be enough for us to challenge Williams. Right, where are we? We're on lap 13, we've got 8 laps to go. And I feel pretty safe right now. Verstappen might come at me towards the end, but at the moment he just doesn't have an answer. And we're currently sitting in P3, having had a good start, a bit of a battle with Max, but now it's all settled down a bit. And actually, we have some pretty strong pace. It's not quite that of what Williams is, but we're getting there. Little by little, we're getting there. It's just about waiting it out here and trying to limit the damage and getting as many points as possible. And that is exactly what we're doing. It didn't work out for us in Jeddah, but it's working out nicely for us here. Meanwhile, Stroll has been passed by our teammate, so it's a very strong result combined for us. And if I can hold on to this podium, it will be 3rd and 5th. And that will be a great result to bring home. Still got a few laps left of this race.
Okay, you're catching the car ahead, but remember, we need to get to the end of the race on these tyres.
So Williams are about 3-4 tenths a lap quicker than us at the moment. That's just a given. And Norris is really taking advantage of that. It's going to be his second win, I think, of the season, because he won out in Saudi Arabia and he's absolutely dominating here at Melbourne. It would have been a Grand Slam if Drugovic hadn't taken the lead early on, but Norris retook it and since then has just disappeared. And speaking of disappearing, we're still not being caught by Verstappen, so I feel like right now we are pretty safe in 3rd. If we get a safety car though, I tell you what, I feel confident enough that we could attack Drugovic. Still a few laps left in the race though. Anything can happen and Stroll is staying with Carlos Sainz. Hopefully Sainz can hold him off. Because like I said, that'd be a great team result for us, 3rd and 5th, and that'll help us out in the Constructors as well. But at the moment it is Williams that have just disappeared down the road, and there is no catching them at this stage, because they are just way too fast. And I tell you what, I'm studying the gap. Is Sainz catching Verstappen a little bit? I think he might be, you know. I think Sainz might just be catching him a bit, so if Carlos can get ahead of Max, that'll really put the cherry on the cake for us in this race today. But I think it's going to be a bit of a tall order. But we'll see, we'll see. Still 5.5 laps to go. But I'm hoping Carlos can do it. It's over 4 seconds the gap now, so we've definitely... I feel like even if Max had got past us early on, with the pace we had, we could have taken him back. And this is really strong from us here, because it's going to be P3 if we can hold it. And as things stand, a fastest lap. I don't know if the Williams have got a faster lap in their pocket, but it could be. Yes, Sainz is definitely catching Verstappen, there's no doubt about it. Sainz is catching up, and I think Max may be struggling a little bit. So, I tell you what, Carlos could nab him here, and that would be such a strong result. I'm just going to be watching that gap closely while concentrating on my race. I don't feel the need to go ham anymore at this stage. I'm just trying to do my race and get to the end. But Sainz is catching. I'm interested to see that. Come on, Carlos. Do it for us. There's only a few laps to go, but that would just be, like I said, cherry on the cake. But still, P5 would be a great result too. Let's not understate that for 1 second. P5, still a great result. Still some very good team points being bagged as we move forwards to the next race. It's still been a bit static in the second half, but first half of the race we did have a bit of a battle on our hands. But in the second half it has just been, you know, we've just been cruising it. And we are a few seconds ahead of Max. We're not able to catch up to Williams just yet. But this is an encouraging sign and an encouraging step in the right direction for us. P3, a second podium of the season. Bahrain, obviously, we locked into a bit. The performance wasn't there, but the performance is there here. And the Williams are just so clear, you know, they're so clear of us.
Okay, that's us with 5 laps of fuel remaining. 5 laps of fuel left.
We've got 5 laps of fuel left in the car, left in the tank. Not that that's important news. And Sainz is getting closer. Sainz is getting closer. Come on, Carlos. Dig deep now, you're nearly within that second, and if Carlos gets within that second, he could have a go.
Front is 7.6 seconds.
Car in front is 7 seconds away, and the Williams of Norris is 10 seconds up the road, so there is still work to be done, but for now, it's a good position for us. Carlos has got him the DRS. He has got himself there. Now it's about maintaining that and getting right within it. And I think he'll do that here. He will have a spot of DRS to help him. You got 2 laps to do it, Carlos. Let's go. Come on. Get closer. And of course that'll mean he'll get less hassle from Stroll. But that's where the main battle is now. Carlos Sainz going for 4th. He's ever closer to Verstappen, who, like I said, I think has got some kind of issue because he's been nowhere near our pace all throughout this second stint.
6.3 seconds.
And Carlos Sainz, I feel, is going to have a go. Is he close enough to do it into 3? No. Just wait a moment, Carlos. Your moment will come. Oh, fucking hell. Okay. Okay, that was a wake-up call. Oh, my God. My heart is in my mouth. Right, Sainz is going for it. Sainz is going for it. I can tell you that now. Sainz is going for it. Is he ahead? Not right here, I don't think. But it'll be here. It'll be here that he'll do it. Carlos is now within a 10th of the Mercedes. Can he do it? I think he can, you know. Is he going for it? I can see on the map. Sainz is ahead. Sainz is ahead of Verstappen.
Fuel remaining now.
Yes, Sainz has done it. Let's have a look. Carlos Sainz has got past Max Verstappen. This is how the smooth operator has done it. Round the outside of the right-hander, and Max tried to fight that, but there was no fighting that. Carlos Sainz up into P4, and that, well, come on, Carlos.
Final lap.
Right, final lap then. Come on, let's bring this home. And this is going to be such a great and promising result for us. After struggling in the first couple of races, we've finally stuck an upgrade on the car, and it's put us a step closer to being able to fight. We may not have been able to fight the Williams today, but we have fought the Mercedes, and it looks like both of us are going to finish ahead of the Mercedes, and that is going to be some great points for us. Verstappen still might have a go on this final lap, but I think Carlos has the straight line speed. It's aerodynamics and chassis that we lost out on when we had the issues from the regulation change. nothing to do with our straight line speed, and in fact, Sainz should comfortably have P4, and he's even catching us by bit here, but I think it's a bit too late in the race for him to do anything about us. But Sainz is going to finish 4th. It's been a dream day for Lando Norris and Williams, 2nd win of the season, but it's been an equally great day for us. P3 and P4, we are moving forwards. Get in!
Yes, great drive, great drive. Everyone here is really happy with that performance. Well done, mate.
A great race then, and a fantastic victory here at Albert Park. Natalie Pinkham, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
Well, they managed their tyres to absolute perfection. A tyre whisperer, in fact. And that is what set them apart.
Welcome then to the podium, our top 3 drivers. What a great effort from them today in a very difficult race. Let's have a look then at the driver's standings. Lando Norris.
Well, you know what? That was a well-driven race for both of us, and that, at the end of the day, deserved result. 3rd and 4th, we moved up at the start of the race. It was that start that really got us in the running for P3 by going around the outside and gaining those places. We had a fight for Verstappen at one point before the pit stops, but in the second half of the race, Verstappen just didn't seem to have as strong pace, and as a result, Sainz caught and passed him, and that is a great team result, 3rd and 4th, with Verstappen and Stroll 5th and 6th, but Williams were untouchable today. They were absolutely untouchable. Their race pace was very strong. We did get an early fastest lap though that just could not be beaten. And that is worth noting as well. We are moving closer towards outright race pace. But for today, it is a Williams 1-2 and they thoroughly deserve it. Russell finishes 7th. Piastri gets some home points. Dennis Hauger continues his impressive season. And Jack Doohan in his home race gets points as well. Which means to say that the championship is now led by Lando Norris. And Lance Stroll and Max Verstappen are equal on points. Drugovich is 4th. We are currently 5th and 6th. And I tell you what, I'm not that many points off the championship lead. So I'm not writing anything off yet. Obviously, we need to get more upgrades on the car to be able to fight these guys. But the fight is on. Game on. Piastri is 7th. Russell 8th. Hauger 9th. And Jack Doohan rounds out the top 10 in the standings. And in the Constructors, we've now moved very clear of Alfa Romeo after they made a go for us in Saudi. But the points we attained here means that we move clear, but we're still not quite close enough to Mercedes and Williams, who are running away with it at the moment. Well, thank you so much for watching this instalment of Career Mode. Don't forget to leave a like and hit the subscribe button for more content from me. Until next time, TTFN, ta-ta for now. Take care.